Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to this dialogue. Today on the show, we'll be talking about the volatile region of the Horn of Africa. Whenever we talk about the Horn of Africa, one of the issues that comes to the fore is lack of peace and tranquility, especially in some of the most volatile areas in the region. And this begs the question as to what new strategies need to be devised in order to come up with pragmatic solutions to the persistent issues. This is going to be our topic of discussion, and my guest today is none other than Dr. Polin Kamao. She is Regional Policy and Advocacy Director. She will break it down for us so that we'll have a better understanding of the realities on the ground. I'm your host, Shifa Raulago. Do stay with us. Thank you so much for making the time to talk to us. I know you have this busy schedule, but somehow you manage. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
So whenever we talk about the Horn of Africa, as you know, despite the number of efforts being exerted to ensure peace and security and stability in the Horn of Africa, there are still persistent issues. So what are some of the stumbling blocks, if you will, that deter the realization of reliable peace in the Horn of Africa, especially in some of the volatile regions in the Horn?
Yeah, thank you so much. The Horn of Africa is known as one of the most volatile regions in the world. We look at a conflict happening everywhere, Sudan, even pockets of Somalia and elsewhere in the Horn. The stumbling blocks to peace in these regions, most of the times, I would say elitism and also politics, because in some regions there's that issue of power. That is, I want to be in power, I want to control, and once you want to control, then you want to do everything to control that region. And apart from that, power and politics, I would also say that there are other issues that are coming up in this region. The issue of climate change, and also the issue of changing of weather patterns. It's really driving people, and when people are driven out of their areas, they go to other areas, there's bound to be conflict, because people say, why are you coming here? They don't understand. It is that it is the issues of climate that is pushing people away. The other one I would say is about economics. Lack of employment in this region is a huge problem. So you find people trying to get means of survival. And of course, when you go to other places, like you go to a region where you think that you are going to get jobs and all that, then you're about to be told, no, you can't come here. Then that brings about, conflict. Yes.
So what are some of the concrete researches that you have conducted in this regard? And how inclusive is your research that has resulted in finding such wonderful discoveries?
Yeah, we've done quite a number of researches. One of them I would want to talk about is the situation analysis in the Horn of Africa, which we did, I think, just before when the war in Sudan broke out. And how inclusive it was is because we have partners or local communities. We work with local communities, we work with local civil society organizations, and even government. So we were able to get information of what is happening in every of those 8 countries. Let me call them IGAD countries, because there are 8, East and the Horn of Africa. We were able to get information of what is happening at the grassroots level. From the grassroots, we were able to listen to the voices of the community. We were able to listen to the voices of those in power, and we were able to come up with research which tells us what is happening in the Horn of Africa. And of course, the other research about inclusion of youth and women and persons with disability in peace building. We wanted to hear their voices. Are they included? And of course, the answer was no. So those are some of the questions we are asking. Youth and women are the majority in our region. So why are they left out?
The Horn of Africa Advocacy Strategy for Peace and Stability has been launched here at Addis Ababa, spanning 10 years with 5 major pillars in order to ensure lasting peace in the Horn of Africa. Could you briefly walk me through the pillars and what is it all about?
Okay, due to the conflict in this region, we sat as many civil society organizations and of course American Friends Service Committee and Bread for the World sat together and we said, we must do something. We must contribute something to, the vision of Africa, that is the Africa we want. Silencing the guns. How can we do that? So we sat and called other people, can we start strategizing? Then we said, if we want to address the conflict which keeps coming, if we want to talk about peace, we must have evidence. What is happening? What is happening at the grassroots? So we had one of the pillars, which is evidence-based research. You can't talk about something when you don't have information. You must have that information. So we have that pillar which helps us to get information from the grassroots in all the 8 countries so that we are able to go to the government, we are able to go to anybody, even the regional bodies, and see this is the information coming from the people within this region. How can we address peace? The other one is about inclusion. I have alluded to it, about youth and women. The majority in our region, why are they absent? How can we involve them? Because the more we involve them, the more we can have lasting, peaceful solutions. So that is the second pillar. The other pillar is about governance. In our region, we are seeing continued shrinking of civic spaces. People are not able to express themselves. And they say that, how can we talk to one another? So that is the pillar we are saying, let us talk. Let us sit down and talk. Let us address the issues in our region. Then we have the other pillar of transitional justice and trauma healing. People in this region are traumatized because of conflict. And you cannot start talking to people about peace before they start healing, before there is forgiveness, before they can say that, yes, I'm willing to, to talk about what happened to me. So together with even religious organizations, this is something that we want to start healing that kind of trauma so that people can start talking. People can say that, yes, I forgive you. Can we all work together? That is that's the other pillar. Then we also have that pillar of a climate and environmental justice. I have talked about it. What is happening in this region? Flooding, drought, and animals dying, people dying. Constantly we are asking for food and we can feed ourselves. So how can we work on this climate justice? We want to tell those ones who are polluting the environment. We want restorative justice, especially climate justice by the polluters. So that is the other, the fifth pillar that we are talking of.
Before we wrap up this conversation, what is your message to the people in the Horn? And to Africans in general?
To the Africans, let us not be looked at by others. When I say others, outside our continent, our beautiful continent.
Yes.
We have got minerals, we have got everything. We can be the first world. Let us not be looked at as people who go to other countries because we are poor. No, we are not. And I want to tell Africans, can we develop our country? Can we make peace in our country? Can we make Africa the Africa we want so that we don't all the time cross the borders go to the European countries or to the US? We can make our US, we can make our Europe in this continent.
Yes, that's the message. Dr. Polin Kamao, keep up the great fight. Thank you so much for your time and your precious ideas, of course.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to the end of today's program. Thank you so much for having been with us so far. Until I see you next time with yet another program, it's a bye-bye from me, Shifa Raulak. Take care and stay safe.